If both you and your spouse were to die, who would you want to take care of your kids? Don't worry, there are 4 easy steps parents can take to choose the right guardians for their minor kids, and we're about to go through all of them right now. Hey guys, Elliott Feldman here, estate planning attorney at the Elliott Feldman Law Group, where we create estate plans that actually work when your loved ones need it most. If you ever have any questions about this topic or need to talk about your estate planning needs, you can schedule a time to talk with me over the phone for free by going to myestatemeeting.com. All right, let's talk about how parents can choose the right guardians for their minor kids in 4 easy steps. Now, unfortunately, 69% of parents in the U.S. have not named legal guardians to take care of their kids in the event that both parents either become incapacitated or pass away. And the reason is because they can't decide who to choose as guardians, and nor do most estate planning attorneys know how to help them choose. Now, at our firm, we've developed a children's protection plan to help our parents choose the right guardians utilizing our easy 4-step process. Now, this process will require you to make lists of people, and I always recommend that couples complete these steps separately, meaning you shouldn't come up with the list of people together, but you should write up your own individual list separately, because then at the end, you'll both come back with your lists and compare. Now, you may be worried that this exercise might be emotionally difficult since you're contemplating your own death, but what I've been told time and time again by the parents I've served is that by engaging in this process, it brought a consciousness to their parenting that wasn't there before. And they began to realize that the things that they are doing now are what create the legacy that they are leaving for later, which brought them closer together as a couple and as a family overall on an emotional and spiritual level. So with that said, let's go through the 4-step process of choosing guardians right now. Step 1 is list every possible person you know who could serve as guardian for your children. Now, to help you get going, you should list your parents, siblings, friends, godparents, college roommates, literally anyone you know besides foster care should be on the list. Now, at step 1, we're not making judgments about whether or not these people would be a good or bad guardian. We're simply asking if they could be a guardian. Could they do it? If so, then write them on the list. Now, once you're finished writing all these people you know on the list and you're finished with step 1, then I want you to literally put that list off to the side. Don't look at it as we move on to step 2. Step 2 is list your most important parenting priorities when it comes to raising your kids that you'd like to see carried on by your guardian. Now, for some of you, this may be the first time that you've consciously thought about your parenting priorities, and that's totally normal and okay. And by parenting priorities, I'm talking about your parenting philosophy and how important it is to you that your guardians share that same parenting philosophy. I'm also talking about your religion and how important it is to you, or maybe not, that certain religious practices and principles be passed on to your kids by your guardian. Location is another one. I mean, how important is it to you that the guardians live close to where you live right now? And then, of course, there's age. Is it a priority of yours that the guardians you name be of similar age to you and your spouse? And of course, how big of a priority is it that your guardians have a good existing relationship with your kids? Now, relationship with the kids, location, age, philosophy, religion, this is not an exhaustive list of parenting priorities by any stretch, but it will get you started. And when it comes to choosing your most important parenting priorities you want to be used by your guardians to raise your kids, don't consider money. Take money off the table. You're going to name somebody else to take care of the money. You're choosing who you want to raise your kids right now. You know, who's going to make sure that they get educated the way you want? Who's going to teach them values and right from wrong the way you want? And besides, it is your responsibility as the parent to make sure there's enough money left over in your estate for the guardian to be able to use to pay for the children's expenses anyway. So don't make money a priority in your guardians. Now, before we can move on to step 3, I can't stress enough how important it is to not try and do step 1 and 2 at the same time. List the priorities and what's most important to you completely separate from your step 1 list of people. And when you do step 2, do not think about the people at all. Just focus on your priorities, and note, These step 2 parenting priorities can change for parents as they age. So when you're younger with smaller children, you might think that the guardian having the same parenting philosophy and style is the highest priority for you. But as you age and your minor kids age, you might put more of a priority on what they would actually want to have happen and who they would want their guardians to be. As an example, my mentor homeschools her son and has done so for years. And when she asked him who he would want to take care of him, God forbid if anything were to happen to my mentor, he said, "Mommy, regardless of who it was, I just don't want to go back to a regular school. I want to continue being homeschooled." So as you can imagine, if he lost his mom and was given to the wrong guardian who put him in a public school, then he'd lose his mom and his entire way of life, which would be twice as traumatic. So at this point, you have your step 1 list of people and you have your step 2 list of priorities. Now step 3 is where you rank your list of priorities to determine what's really important to you and to compare that list to the people. So now we're comparing the list of people to the most important priorities. And by comparing the people to the priorities, you get to move beyond the idea that you have to name your parents or you have to name your siblings as guardians by default. Please know, there's nothing wrong if you do, but the beauty of this process is that it gives you the permission to not have to name the people you think that you should name, but name the people that you want to name. Because believe me, you have every permission to name the people you truly want to name who match your priorities and who you feel will take care of your children the way you'd want them to be taken care of if you weren't here. Now, step 4 is considering your couple choices. Now, once you compare your list of people and match them with your list of your top priorities, then you can narrow down the list even further by picking out the people you match that are couples in marriages or long-term relationships. In that sense, your children would be raised by 2 parents, promoting a more stable and recognizable family environment. So in summary, at our firm, we have 4 easy steps to help parents choose the right guardians for their minor kids in case they were no longer around. Step 1 is making a list of any person you know who could serve as guardian of your kids. Step 2 is creating a list of your most important parenting priorities when it comes to raising your kids. Step 3 is where you rank your list of priorities to determine what's really important to you and then match the people in your list to those priorities. And then finally, in step 4, you pare down your list of choices even further by considering your couple choices to find the best candidates to be guardians of your minor children. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell next to it to be notified for new videos I post each week. And if you like it, then please hit the like button. And if you know someone that needs to hear this, please share it with them. If you have a question or comment, please leave it. And if you ever have any questions about this topic or need to talk about your estate planning needs, you can set up a time to talk with me over the phone for free by going to myestatemeeting.com. That's myestatemeeting.com. Again, this is Elliott Feldman, estate planning attorney at the Elliott Feldman Law Group, where we create estate plans that actually work when your loved ones need it most. Take care.